So hello fellow Earthlings, this is Earthling 6455463728, and I wanted to give an update on, I guess, my physical state. I had mentioned the fact that my legs had been seriously swollen, and I didn't have no idea why. So I decided to stop doing jumping jacks as well as a number of other activities that I do in terms of my high intensity interval training in order to feel good about the fact that I can do 40 push-ups, I can do 15 pull-ups, well I could have, etc. Yeah, for anybody who's interested, I really recommend high intensity interval training. I think it's awesome because personally I hate exercise, but 10 minutes, continuous minutes of high intensity exercise, for me it really works. Like I said, it gives me, I try to do it like 3 times a week, and I used to do a lot more exercise, and I used to really dread having to do it. But just doing 10 minutes every 3 times a week, it's not really that bad. I still dread it anyway, for whatever reason. I used to be escalating the amount of exercise that I did. Like, for example, I'd started at one point, I must have done like, very small amount, like 20 squats, and before the high intensity interval training, and then I just added more and more squats and more push-ups and more pull-ups, and I don't know that it was too bad except for the part where I wasn't sleeping enough. But anyway, to get back to my feet and how they were, basically all of the swelling went down. I could see the veins in my instep once again. My calves, unfortunately, they were not as developed as I thought they were. They were just as a result of massive swelling. But my ankles, my calves, my feet, they're all fine. Unfortunately, I have not been doing exercise for at least a month, and I need to find a way to make sure that I'm fit but not doing something that might end up really poorly with my body. I have some kind of pain in my elbow, and it would keep, the thing about it is that I have to help my uncle to stand up, several times a day, and because of that, it puts a certain limit on the amount of exercise that I can do along the lines of pull-ups and push-ups, etc. And I guess, I don't know what you call these things. I guess it's a bit like rowing, yeah. So there's that. Because of the, completely cutting out the exercise, I've seen the shape of my feet. My feet seem to be a lot better, and my joints, the one joint that was really a problem, seems to have healed. Of course, I'm sure if I go straight back into exercise, that it will just go back to as bad as it was. But I think part of it too is that I probably need to set aside 9 hours of sleep. I think that's part of it, because I think I'm pretty certain that even though I allot about 8 hours to sleep, I think at least half an hour to an hour of that is probably wasted in me tossing and turning. Another thing that I've done is I've put up a sheet over my window to make sure that the sunlight, very little sunlight is coming in, turning off electronics while I'm sleeping that might be shining an LED light into the room to make it absolutely as dark as possible. And that really has helped me in terms of I feel like I'm resting. Even though I might be up, the same as before. I feel like I'm actually resting and not just lying down in the bed waiting for the amount of time that I've allotted to pass by. And unfortunately, what I recognized was that at 8 hours, basically I would be like, okay, it's 8 hours, let me get up. I would still feel tired. And now with 9 hours, I don't feel tired. I still feel a little bit sleepy when it comes to, practicing some Korean, like reading or listening or, mimicking speaking Korean. I still feel a little bit sleepy, but not as badly as I used to. So who knows, I might even increase the amount of time that I put aside for sleeping to 10 hours. And then maybe that might help with respect to recovery from exercise. So I had planned to wait until the end of June before I started exercising again. So I think I'm going to stick with that plan. I still like what I look like physically. So I'm maintaining my calorie counting. I splurged some time ago. Like every 2 weeks, I have a bottle of wine over the course of 2 days or so, which definitely is not a good thing. But I figure that since it's over the course of 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, then whatever deleterious effects there might be, hopefully my body is recovering from them over the course of the 2 weeks. And during those 2 days, I don't really stick to the amount of calories that I have allotted to eat. So like right now I'm kind of in recovery mode, whereas I'm carrying forward a balance of excess calories that I had on those 2 days, and little by little I'm whittling away at it to come back into compliance for over those 2 days, just while I imbibed the alcohol. I just kind of gave myself a license to just do whatever I felt like in terms of eating however much, while I was keeping track of it. So I probably shouldn't say that I wasn't counting calories. I just did not limit myself to, I might have said that. I just didn't limit myself. I just kept note of what I was eating. So I still feel proud of what I've been able to accomplish. I don't have to, what do they call those, love handles? And that's good. I'm glad. Like I said, my ankles look like a human being's. My calves are not as huge as I would have thought. It is a lot cheaper to, I could always try to be like The Rock or Arnold Schwarzenegger, but that's a very expensive lifestyle. It might not be the tastiest lifestyle, but it's expensive to, maintain food for another 1 or 2 people in order to get to that kind of frame. And I really just want to look good for me, and I'm satisfied with, seeing the faint outline of my abs and my chest and, even my legs. I used to have a little bit more, what would you say, granularity in my legs. But since I stopped doing those 200 squats every 2 or 3 days, it's out the door. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I was doing some gardening the other day, and I had to jump over some seasoning plants, plants that you use like thyme, and unfortunately I landed poorly. And it wasn't that bad. It just felt, the one ankle that I landed on, it just felt, and I think it's the one that I had broken, it just felt a little bit, out of sorts. But I just walked on it as normal. But by the time I got to bed, I was almost crying internally. I would get these spasms. Well, not exactly a spasm. It's just like a buildup of pain, and then it would ease back, and then it would build up again, and then it would ease back. And it was horrible. I didn't even know I was going to get to sleep. So I took a bunch of aspirin, and I took something that's supposed to be a muscle relaxant, and I don't know, at some point I guess I must have fell asleep. So the next day I was not going to take any chances, and I got some crutches, and it didn't hurt, but I did not even want to risk it. This was too much. So I guess that kind of confirmed for me that I probably need to continue to just rest for a bit. The next month or so should be good, and it should help my bones and my joints to recover. And hopefully by then, maybe I might have to make sure as to what kind of supplements, if I'm not getting enough calcium. But I eat cheese fairly regularly, so unless there's something that's preventing it from being absorbed, it should be alright. I don't know. Anyway, I probably just need to continue down this path of no exercise just for a bit, and then I eventually get back into that trepidation of, oh my god, it's 2 days away before exercise. Oh my god, it's 1 day left before exercise. Oh my god, today is the day that I have to exercise for 10 minutes. But honestly, that's how I end up feeling. But normally I get past it, and then I have 2 more days before I need to exercise again. So I have to really pay attention and make sure that I'm doing everything to increase my health and not compromise it in any way. And on a final note, I was actually going to talk about the fact that I guess a couple months ago I realized that I am actually losing my hair. I thought that I wasn't, because I had hair there. I've shaved my head I'm going to leave this for another one. So anyway, guys, you can wish me lucks. You can like or unlike. You can comment, subscribe, and or share. Peace.